live again. I don't know why that joint didn't switch the first time or some shit. Get to the book of Jasher. Because I don't got the book of Jasher with me tonight. It's in my folks' house. And I'm over to chapter 9, the book of Jasher. That's all you gotta do too. Just Google it. I mean, all the books is written online. So, I mean, you don't gotta purchase the book. But it's good to purchase the book so you can have the book. Just in case someone asks you about the book. Alright, so today, until my power run out in the phone, I'm about to just talk about the Tower of Babel today. The Tower of Babel and NASA. NASA and the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel and NASA. Alright, I want to explain a few things to you, something you probably didn't know from the Tower of Babel and the way the world is. Alright, so people got religions, people worship. Tomorrow someone will wake up and worship an ashtray or worship a big chair like on Martin Luther King Avenue. I mean, these are graven images set for us and ideas. But basically, polytheism is the worship of the mother, the sun god, all these idols and stuff. So basically what I'm about to explain now is what you do today is what they did back then. Who started the children of Ham. Alright, so the world was in one language. Once again, this is King James Version, 1611, chapter 11, the beginning, when it tells you about the children of Ham and the Cushite and Nimrod and the times of Eber, the Shemite. When the whole world was wicked, the whole world was one language, and they sought to do things like build this tower so they'll be known all across the land. They have a lot of skyscrapers today with a lot of technology saying that it's modern day still and stuff. But like I said, the pyramids are taller than anything you can believe. Structures that we've seen all around the earth, they were built in ancient times. So you just can't compare that to what you see today. I mean, the shit that you see today is nothing on that scale. This tower right here. So it explains this tower in the book of Jasher. This is the reason why I went to the book of Jasher, chapter 9 in the book of Jasher, and it goes from there to chapter 11. But I want to go to it, but this website or whatever I want to go to the one joint where it say the sacred text. But the book of Jasher. The book of Jasher once again is mentioned in Joshua chapter 10 verse 12 and 13. Well, in verse 13 is in the written book of Jasher, and also 2 Kings chapter 1 verse 18 is it written in the book of Jasher. All right. So just if you didn't think I don't know about it, I'm just saying the verses. In Joshua chapter 10 verse 12 and 13 is when the Most High set the sun and the moon in the heaven. All right. When we was destroying the Amorites, when we were fighting the war, and it didn't move all day until we killed them. So that was crazy. No one seen something like that, and Joshua prayed for that. So it says that is written in the book of Jasher. So it explains that. Also in Samuel, when I mentioned 2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 18, when I mentioned in the book of Jasher, is when the Most High and Judah is reminding Judah to teach his sons the art of the bow, the art of defending themselves, of warriors, Judah. So you can read about that in the book of Jasher. So you'll know that. You're not going to hear about that in your church, ever. You're not going to hear about none of these things that I'm speaking about in your church, that you grew up in, that you call sacred, your deacon, your pastor, your reverend, the man you call him father. They're not going to tell you this. They don't even know what I'm speaking. It's sad. The thing is, in the King James chapter 11, it explains that all the children of the world with one language went to a plain in Shinar and built cities there. And they built themselves strong brick made of mortar, made stone, to build this tower. And like I said, they want not to be forgotten. Like I said, the whole world came from a flood that they all remembered, and so they want to make sure the tower is above the waters, or how high as it can go. The book of Jasher explains this tower. King James doesn't explain this tower. The King James only gives you 9 verses of the tower that they created, but in King James it tell you about how they made the brick and how the Most High seen their wickedness that was upon wickedness, and knew all their thoughts and in their hearts and everything they imagined to do wicked against the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It says that, and the Most High scattered them above the face of the earth. It didn't say where, but the Most High expects you to read the book of Jasher, so it would tell you in the book of Jasher what happened. But I know about heart. I just told you to go to the book of Jasher chapter 9 and read it through chapter chapter 11, so you'll know the full detail of what happened. But you gotta understand the King James, that's how chapter 11 starts. It starts with the land of Shinar. And then the chapter 11 ends with, which is 27, chapter 11, verse 27. Now, these are the generations of Terah. I mean, Abraham's father, or Abram's father at that time. And it tells you about Abram, Nahor, and Haran. You know what I'm saying? And Haran begat Lot. So it tells you about Abraham. So it tells you about Abraham after the Tower of Babel. So you'll believe that Abraham took a wife after the Tower of Babel. So it's like, when you read the book of Jasher, you'll understand that Abraham was born before the Tower of Babel. So, you know, that's the thing of having the lost books. And, you know, 66 books of the King James and the 77 missing books. Okay, we all know the Apocrypha. You can go to a Catholic church and see the Apocrypha in their books. The 13 missing books, you know, there. But I don't want to get off topic. It's just so you'll know that this Tower of Babel, reading this, you'll be confused about what the Tower of Babel represents. Like I just said, NASA, Tower of Babel, NASA. All right, in the book of Jasher, it explains in chapter 9 that they were setting out to build this tower, and they had 3 parts that were going to do this. Remember, it was Ham, Shem, and Japheth, 3 sons of Noah, but they didn't say it was that 3 parts. I mean, it was 3 parts of wicked people that said they were going to do these things. All right, so they said we're going to build this tower, and then they made this brick out of mortar. All right, so you got to understand, in the book of Jasher, it tells you that you know, it took a man a year to reach the top of the tower from the bottom. It took him a year to reach it. They didn't have elevators at that time or any type of lifts, so you got to understand the thing called steps that's been around since forever, steps. And you could just think about how long it would take you to walk up steps to any building that you live in now. I mean, or the Washington Monument or the shit in Dubai. It wouldn't take a year to reach the top. So you got to understand what they're trying to explain, how high and how tall this building was. They didn't give you the metric or, you know, the dimensions of the building. They just told you it took a fucking year to reach the top if you walked. All right? So it's just common sense. This shit was beyond what planes fly. Literally, it had to be like 60 miles up. And it's like they would like show no remorse or no concern if a man fell from the top of the shit. If a brick fell, they would like, fuck. But if a man fell, they wouldn't even give a shit. Like, they were more concerned if a brick fell, because they were walking bricks up to the top of this tower that was built in the land of Shinar. They tell you where it was, what they did. They took all this out of King James in the book of Jasher. And the 3 parts said they were going to do 3 things, which I try to explain, which I've been explaining for like 7 years now. And before, they said they were going to go into the heavens and fight with the Most High. That's the first thing they're going to say. So, you know, I mean, down the line, when you read the story, you hear about them shooting arrows and fighting with it. But they're so high, they believe they could do it. They did that for like 3 days. They shot arrows 3 days. The Most High sent blood back down. But that's what they said they were going to do in their hearts. Remember, I got to explain what it is in your heart. Like, the law is there. Leviticus is there. I mean, Cain killed Abel. That's death there. Leviticus came generations later saying thou shalt not kill. So the law has always been here. So people say, well, the law here is now. But no, Cain killed Abel. That was law that you should not do that. If Cain would have sex with Eve, then you should not fuck your mother from Leviticus. So it's like you got to understand these laws have already been here since time. And people want to switch it. But when they're building this, it's like they said they were going to go into heaven and fight with the Most High. And the next said that they were going to ascend into heaven and place their gods in the heaven and worship them. So you got to understand that. Place their gods in the heaven to worship them. Like, man can't go into heaven. Fact. Man couldn't go in. So how would he do something that he's in his heart saying he's going to do? And yeah, I got on topic for a second because I was trying to explain what Jesus came here for and what the law of Leviticus was for. So thou shalt not kill. But he basically said, the Most High Son, he told you, the Lamb said, if you think about doing it, it's like you did it. So I explained in the last video, like, if I think about adultery, if I in my mind think about like raping or thinking about stealing something from somebody, I don't have to do it. But if I think about or plot to do it in my heart, that means I have already done it. So they was like, telling you, explaining to you that the world was in 3 parts, plotting to do this thing before the tower was even built in their hearts. And even King James said the Most High knew all the wickedness and what they were planning to do. So it's like you planning to do shit or having these thoughts, the wicked thoughts, it's just like you actually doing it. So it's like somebody accusing you, like, I should have cheated on you. You accused me so much. It's like that's what it is. It's like if you think about doing it, then you already did it. So when they said they were going to heaven, like they had a thought of going above the firmament. The firmament is called the Rakia, and it was created on the second day. All right, and even on the first day, and the water separated, and he created the firmament. All right, to separate the waters from above from the waters from below. And this firmament, I mean, it's a strong molten glass. I mean, they call it the atmosphere. They call it all types of shit because they trying to fool you and deceive you of the world you live in, so you can worship the stars above or the stars that's in the firmament. All right, so you understand what NASA and Babel confusion is doing. This is what this video is about. And so it's like they said they're going to place their gods in the heavens. All right, so I'll go to the verse because, you know, a lot of people don't believe what I say. You know what I'm saying? No one really believes, you know, because I'm just David. Like, if I was someone important, an idol that they worship, then they would listen. You know what I'm saying? They would listen. But it's in chapter, I believe 11 when they actually did it. Chapter 9 was just leading up to all of it. And it said, and then Ra built cities and Shinar remained with the people, and they died, and the fathers and Terror. Anyway, I don't want to get off. So I know this shit by hand. It's like I keep trying to go back. You're not going to see the damn words. I was going to just read it to you. But basically, what they said they were going to place their gods in the heaven to worship. For example, if I have a son and I, you know what I'm saying, another son, and I tell him that man, like, literally can walk on the moon. Like, I know the moon is like, see, people don't understand it because it has already been done. So I have to give an example of what people, because it's confusion. Because I know that you can't walk on the moon, but people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? People believe that there's dry land in heaven because of the start of this. So they said they're going to place their gods in heaven for people to worship, for them to worship. So at that time, they worship Baal. You know what I'm saying? People don't know what Baal is, like 400 gods. That's just one. They got a god for everything. The wind, for sweat, for piss. They got God for fucking trees, ants. They worship anything. Wood and stone, any image in pictures, they worship it. So they say they're going to place those things in heaven for us to worship. So when I say they're going to do that, meaning I already told you they can't go into the heaven. Man cannot go into heaven and place shit into heaven. So it's like the thought of doing it. So how are they going to manipulate people to do these things? It's like with the graven images. Exodus chapter 20, verse 4 and 5. With the graven images, they do these things. All right? All right, so when NASA shows you something that's above the firmament, these people try to go above the firmament and place their gods into their false gods into the heaven. So NASA always does the same thing. Number one, they're showing you graven images of what's in heaven. Thou shalt not create an image of what's in heaven. So when someone shows you a star or the sun or the moon, or you know what I'm saying, or a picture of an eclipse, you know what I'm saying, these are graven images. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's in heaven, or angel, or angels, or cherubim, or any type of angel, or the Most High Son, or the Lamb himself, Jesus, what you call him, any picture of him, no matter what color he is. Anything that's, if they show you a picture of the clouds, like when you see cartoons, you see clouds going by, you see, you know what I'm saying, the sunrise, and these are graven images. And people don't understand what a graven image is, what a picture is. It's something you see. An image is something you see. An image, you can hear an image. And you see, you got senses. You can touch it. You see it. All right? It has to be, it's a visual regardless. So the Most High breaks it down in a lot of verses. But I always go to this verse right here in Numbers. Because it explains, because a lot of people don't believe me when I say pictures are graven images. And I'm just a little tired. That's the reason why it's taking me so long to flip these pages. But Numbers chapter 33, verse 52, it says, and these shall drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you. All right? Meaning when we go back, because we just left Egypt and we on our way to Canaan. All right? Remember, during this time, Noah had cursed Canaan. So during this time, we're going there after the Egyptian bondage. All right? With Moses and Joshua. All right? So the Most High says, when you get to this land, destroy all their pictures, all right, all their graven images. And it describes it, destroy all their molten images. So the Most High, he didn't have in Exodus, you know, Exodus is before this, he didn't have to explain what graven images again. So like Exodus 4 and 5 says, thou shalt not create a graven image. All right, so he goes into detail of what a graven image is. Remember, these laws have been here since Adam. It's just the law was just passed back to the children who were in bondage for all these years, and they forgot, you know what I'm saying? They didn't forget who they were, because they reminded Moses who they were, you know what I'm saying? We are the Hebrews and shit, but they didn't obey the law because they're fiend for Egypt. That's it from 2 cups. So the law was, thou shalt not create the graven image, and it goes into detail what the graven image is a depiction is of any likeness of anything that is in heaven or that is on the earth or that is under the earth. All right, these are likenesses. All right. So it doesn't make sense of how you can draw some shit that you ain't never seen. Like, you have never seen angels walk up to you. I don't care how great detail they describe it. If you draw a picture of it, it's not that, because that's a picture. That's wooden stone. So when you show someone, they would say, "Hey, that's an angel," instead of saying, "Hey, that's a wooden stone. Why are you drawing that?" So they don't understand what 5 is, bowing to it. The verse 5, chapter, Exodus chapter 20, verse 5. 5 is bowing, 4 is creating, 5 is bowing, and worship. Worshiping is believing is real. Worship is not literally getting on your knees and doing it, unless they command. That's the type of worship it is. Like Nebuchadnezzar built a statue and you had to bow to it literally. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like it. If you just say believe in it, you can always lie and say I don't, or I do, or some shit like that. But when he do something physically to the image, like that's why I say don't. The words say don't erect a graven image, stand it up tall. You know what I'm saying? For example, you ever seen a Jehovah's Witness stand when they stand the images? That's standing up the image. Thou shalt not do that. But if you didn't remember, because I talk a lot and I just said it once again, Numbers chapter 33, verse 52. Thou shalt drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you and destroy all their pictures. Not some. It says destroy all their pictures. Pictures of graven images, icons that you see, the little memes, the GIF pictures, your this picture, your photo picture, your ID, the graven. When they was asking for money, tribute to Caesar, to Jesus the Lamb, when they was asking him, he found the penny and say whose image is on the money. You know what I'm saying? An image is an image. That's what it is. No matter how it is, if it's graven on it, drawn on there, it doesn't matter. It's an image. So this is explaining the images and how they use the graven image for you to worship things that are in heaven. NASA, Babel, Tower of Babel, NASA. The third thing they said is going to do, is fight with them and all that shit. Fight with them. They said they're going to send into heaven and have war with them. The second say they were going to. But the thing is, it's so important that they said they were going to place their gods in heaven. So, like I said, they tell you that there's other Earths, that like Jupiter has moons. We know there's nothing but stars. So you're looking at a star called Jupiter, but you don't think it's a star anymore. You think it's dry land. So when they show you images of Jupiter, like HD images, I don't care what image they show you. Then they show Captain America and the Avengers flying by. The image then you believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because the image, when you fully understand what the image is, like you truly understand the deception. They use the graven images to deceive you. All right, so this tower, they said, like I said, I keep repeating myself. They said they're going to place their gods in heaven for man to worship. All right, you believe it's like our ISS International Space Station in heaven at this very moment. You believe there are 30,000 satellites in the space or in this moment. You believe that? Like, I have gone so deep into the research that I got the facts. Like, when you ask somebody something like, how deep is the earth? Or, you know what I'm saying? They don't know. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the theory. They number one, because they don't know the theory, meaning they believe that there is a calculation, meaning man has done it. So they don't know it. So they just go with whatever is told. They see movies, cartoons, and comic books that calculate the same lies that's told by the scientists on Earth or the research, people who research it. And then they put it into the movies like, oh shit, they kept with science. You know what I'm saying? With the movie. And, they kept all it. Like Tony Stark. They try to say everything he does is like technically can be done in real life if we had a little bit more technology. Like a laser, it's all bullshit. It's just, theories, you know what I'm saying? That people believe to be real because of the images. Like, I'm pretty sure they would have had, if they could create an Iron Man suit, they would have been had Iron Man suits in real life. But the image makes you believe it. If man could fly like they do in the images that you see, then they can't do it. Shit like satellite, shit like space started with images first. I was born in 1984. But I know Star Trek came out like the 50s, 60s when they can go into space. You know what I'm saying? Before then, they had movies like Way Out. This shit came out like 1940 or some shit like that. Of them
pretending like they can go shooting space guns and shit. We got the movies that they remake, you know what I'm saying, when the day the Earth stood still. These movies came out way before they even been into so-called space, when they tell you they went there in 1960, whatever the fuck it was, 98. You know what I'm saying? It's just they bringing the shit to life, what you believe in it, you know what I'm saying, but you just can't understand it. You just won't understand it. You won't understand me. You won't do no research. Like I said, I did a research. So when I ask you how deep the earth is, and you'll say, well, the earth's core, then you use all of the science that we both learned in school. Like, you gotta understand, the people I talk to, they act like I didn't go to school or something. They act like I didn't graduate or some shit like that. They act like I failed. You know what I'm saying? I'm so smart that I could be in school and laugh at the teacher and still pass. You know what I'm saying? That's how smart I was. Oh, God. I was that smart. I could be the class clown and still understand what the fuck they say. Like, I can ask someone today, because we all learned this shit. They used it, oh, I forgot. No, it was all bullshit. You understand? It was all bullshit. If I ask you, how deep is the earth? You'll go straight to Google, and Google will tell you. Instead of going to Google and finding out the answer that Google's going to tell you, go to Google and research how deep has the drill been drilled. Deep. Man drills every day for oil and for so-called fossils. You know what I'm saying? You do the research. You know what I'm saying? You can't answer that question off the top of your head. I will tell you right now, I've done the research over many years. It's just not this. This is the example that I'm telling you when I talk to people. I could tell you the expedition, the research, the country, Russia, the date, and how deep they went. And what happens when the drill bit gets 8 miles deep. It breaks. They actually put sound to it. A couple years ago, they even made movies of it. They made movies of what they do. You understand? Have you ever heard about, I know you heard it in media news. Have you ever heard about sounds coming from hell and when you put it up to a mic? And because back when they drilled that shit in like 1992, 1997, the Russians, they went down there and they started hearing cracks or sounds of shit. They 8 miles deep. So they making up any fucking thing about what they get. They not down there. The fucking drill bit is down there. You know what I'm saying? And it's 8 miles. A fucking cord that you gotta use a mic. It's bullshit. It's like, but the fact is, that's how deep they went. 8 miles. All right? So when you go back to school, you wanted your geography teacher, your fucking history teacher, all them teaching you that the earth's crust, the earth's mantle, all this shit that they saying is contradicting what man is actually doing on earth. The records that he's destroying that he's breaking because man hasn't done these simple things as dug a hole. The deepest hole ever drilled is 8 miles deep. So I'm telling you this because I've done the research. I told you what happens. So now you can Google it. You can Google the deepest hole ever been dug, and then you can Google how deep is the earth. And it's going to be 2 fucking answers. The earth is only as deep as we went. If you can't see past it, you don't know. So it's like, that's just common sense, but the shit they saying that there's like a core spinning around and they got movies reinforcing this shit. Like Bruce Willis and shit, you know what I'm saying? Lava spewing, all the volcano lava. It's like, they made that shit up. But you done seen it for 30 years, you done seen it. So, when I tell you the deepest hole ever, and these niggas is trying to break the record today. Today. It's companies out there trying to go deeper than that. But they cannot. But the public schools, private schools, charter schools, everyone's teaching that the earth has the earth's core. So, you know what I'm saying, it goes the Graven, and they gave you the Graven image, the earth, you know what I'm saying, this way. They gave you the Graven image so you could see what it is. So, people try to say, David, like, one example of somebody I know, they be trying to say, well, how can you explain to a little kid these things if you don't use pictures? And I'm like, bruh, you gotta think about what you're saying. How would you explain that? The tree, like, you point at the fucking tree itself. You don't have to draw a tree. You don't have to create an image of what you're talking about. I'm not drawing my words right now. You can understand what I'm saying. It's retention. You don't gotta read it. You can hear it. Any way you want to say it, bro. It's like, but people can't understand that you do not need an image. And they don't understand that it's law. I mean, they call it the Mosaic law, the Torah, some the shit that Moses, because they want you to forget that. Like they want you to forget that you hung from trees and that you pick cotton and that you turn straw to bread and that you did this shit. You know what I'm saying? One language, these motherfuckers force you to do this shit. You gotta understand this shit. It's like people want you to forget that shit. But I'm here to remind you what the graven image is. Now, like I said, this year, you know what I'm saying, I'm in a lot of groups on the Facebook joint. And a lot of groups, and I subscribe to the Hebrew Israelites. Because I fucks with them, number one, because they my brothers. I mean, and they have some knowledge. What I mean is some knowledge is who we are. Like, it feels good to see a person that know that he ain't black. That he know he's the children. He keeps saying he the children of Israel. Because Deuteronomy 7:6, you know what I'm saying? And, the hater or the heathen, the people who hate you will say, oh, yeah, you lost your promises. But, Revelation reminds you of the saints from the 12,000, 144,000 from each tribe of the Israelites and no other people. So it reminds you that the promised people will always be here even until the end. So you can't take it because you can't take away the promises bestowed to Abraham and his seed. They're promises to Abraham. Even if you fuck up one of Abraham's kids, you still can't blame Abraham. Like I said, Abraham was blameless. So the sun's still gonna rise. So you gotta understand it's promises. But I like them because they do things that I don't even do. You know what I'm saying? So I can learn from them. Like they wear fringes and stuff. You know, so fringes. I mean, that's the only thing they do. I'm not, judging them. And like I'm not talking about them all because people they want to switch what I'm saying and I learn from what I'm saying. Because I'm here to teach. I'm not here to cause I don't judge these people. Because then what can I do? I can't kill the body and the soul. So I'm not God. I mean I'm not the Most High. So people act like my words. Just guilt, pride, and the truth hurts certain people. But like I said, they wear fringes. I don't even wear fringes. I transgress the commandments to wear for all generations. Fringes. I mean, I don't know if you even know what a fringe is, but I don't wear them. I create my own, you know what I'm saying? I cut my shirts. I mean, we used to do it back in the 90s when we made the little thing, cut our shirts at the bottom. The Hebrew Israelites supposed to wear those for all generations to set them apart. We've always been setting ourselves apart from people in many ways, but it's like we want to be people. We set ourselves apart in many ways. I don't feel like going into detail how we're supposed to be different from everyone else. But, like I said, back to what I was talking about. The graven images, and when you read the book of Jasher, they have taken a lot about this time period of Nimrod and building this tower and their whole plot. And once again, the Edomite, the red flesh man, Genesis 25:25. This is before that. They built this tower before he was born. Like things happened in 1960 before I was born, because I was born in 1984. This shit happened before Esau was born. Right? Oh, wait, because I'm talking about Esau, so the only thing I hear about is the Hebrew Israelites. And what I was talking about was the Hebrew Israelites. They know who they are, that's why I like them. But they still worship the images. They would literally stand out there with a picture of white, so-called white Jesus. Like, why keep showing the picture? You don't have to show the picture to tell someone that man is not, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to show the picture. You could just clear as day, just say Genesis 25:25. Jesus comes from the lineage of Judah, an Israelite, all right? Israel is Jacob, all right? Jacob's twin brother is Esau, the red man, all right? So anyone from Jacob is not from his twin brother Esau. So if you see a red man who is an Edomite, he cannot be a Jew because he's not a descendant of Jacob, Israel, Judah. It's that simple. You don't have to show a picture. The truth, that's the truth. I can't change the truth, literally. It's common sense. If people lay down and have sex, you can literally lay people down, dark and red people down, and watch the descendants come out. You got to understand, it's law for Israelites not to do that. So you got to understand, even the people who walk around with the thing on their head claim to be the service of Judah, Judas, or whatever the fuck they is. Even the people that Jericho are fooling you, pretending to be Jews, they not Jews. They not Jews. They pretend to be Jews. But I like the black Israelite, so-called black man, because he's starting to realize that he not black, number one. And he's starting to open his eyes because he got eyes but can't see ears. It's just like, it makes common sense. It's eyes but cannot see. If you clearly see the man is not white and you are not black, why do you call yourself that? It's having eyes but can't see. It's clear as with day. Having ears but can't hear is what I'm telling you. Why do you keep calling yourself black? You're not black. You have a name. Why do you call a man that's red white? And you go detail, white power, white wash, white privilege. They not white. My shirt is white. No man looks like this. There was a man, Noah looked like this. Moses put his hand out, looked just like this. This is the color of snow. Snow has never looked any color but this color. It has never looked any color. This is white as snow. Esau came out red, R-E-D, Rolo. What's that? Spanish? Rot. What's that? German? So many colors. Red, how you can't just twist it. What can I say? This shit is disrespectful. It's disrespectful to me because I know I'm the children of Judah. Number one, off my bondage and the hardships that all my people been through, and only the black people been through. Ain't no other nation been through what we've been through. Every other nation, you can look them right in their face and say, where do you come from? And they would tell you. Because they got a home, they can get on the plane and buy a ticket and go straight back there. So when you ask the black man that, he can't, because the sins of the Most High from his people from turning his back on the Most High, Jews. That's why we here. So when you think of Holocaust and fake Jews dying, all this lies. It's more lies to deceive the whole world. They keep on red washing who we are. They had Olympic Games, and it's all simple fact. Hitler knew he was going to kill those people, but he had Hitler fucking games to try to be like so people can look at what he's saying and do. And he invited black people there and said that red Jewish people can't, to try to tell you that the black man is not a Jew. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole purpose, to red wash the world. That's why when I say I'm the children of Judah, they just call them Jews in the New Testament. That's what the heathen called us. Just like they call you black. But they use the graven image to fool you. So that's why you got graven images of white Jesus. But let's talk about graven images even more. Like when you see cartoons, like I said, they graven images. You know what I'm saying? A graven image is not only if you go deep into cartoons, they showing you like fucking Nephilim. They always got animals walking around talking. It's not fun in games. It's not a game. And then the adults, the parents, like, oh, it's such a game. But a walking bear talking with the body of a human and the top of an animal, this shit is not, it's wicked. It's complete wickedness. And when you, common sense, some righteous thought and a good heart, try to explain this shit to anybody on this earth, they look at you like you stupid. They look at you like you wicked. It's sick. They judge you because their wickedness, their guilt, their own pride. These things are abominations. They're complete abominations, bro. Like, it's one thing, creating a sword. It's nothing that say you can't create a sword. Like I just told you, reading the book of Jasher, what it say in the King James, where it tells you that the Judah should, create the bow, and learn how to fight. But creating a fucking picture or a giant statue of Martin Luther King, who the fuck is he? He a king to y'all. Like I said, they gave him a king. He's the king to the stupid black person. Heathens, and they use graven images. The graven images is what I stress to my people. So when I'm talking to the black so-called Hebrew Israelite, he just like y'all. There's no point in knowing who you are if you're still gonna go home and worship everything the red man. They say they hate the red man. They call him the white devil. That's the white devil. It's like, I think, like, you ask him, who's paying you? It's like the red man creates those fucking. He creates them. He creates those camps. Because I literally stand out there with this. I mean, everywhere you go, I mean, let no man, if you don't have this word with you, like, it's like, really, every person that comes to you should have this word. And they don't hear me. I'm on their videos sometimes and they in the street preaching. And they just, it's not like they preaching hate. Because, I mean, I don't like the red man as much as them, but they love the Hamite. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with the Hamite. Judah had a lot of Hamite friends, literally, a lot of Canaanite friends. Judah, he walked around the earth with a lot of Canaanite. He got his sheep sheared in Canaan a lot. He took Canaanite wife at first. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you around these people. But Judah the whole time knew he was blessed. Nobody was fucking with him. Like, that's the reason why they walked up in Shinar. Because he knew the Most High was with them and nobody could fuck with them. That's why when he can even share and have... Judah went hard, bro. And it's like, y'all don't understand who these people are. Y'all don't understand who Abraham is. Y'all don't understand who these people are, who Israel is. Y'all don't. They just names to y'all. Y'all got so many other idols, like LeBron James or fucking Chase Young or some fucking athlete or some soap opera or some actor or some rapper. And if I ask you one, you can tell me the whole, like I could talk to anybody before my generation, they could tell you the whole fucking life story of Michael Jackson. His whole fucking life. Before he was born, his sister, you know, he didn't got sisters we ain't even hear about. But they can't tell you shit of the people in this book because they don't give a fuck. They're like, the thing is, if you don't give a fuck, just say you don't give a fuck. You don't gotta walk around this earth and pretend. Because at the end, you're not gonna pretend when your life is on the line. You're not gonna give a fuck. You're gonna straight neglect, reject, and deny the Most High when your life depends on it. Because right now you don't believe that your life depends on it. You don't really care. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like I told you in the last video, that I know that you don't care about yourself. And there's nothing I can say that can help you. But you don't care about the kids, the children. You don't give a fuck about the children at all. The well-being of the children's state of mind. You only care about yourself. You only concerned about you. You could be teaching your kid anything. You don't give a fuck. You think what you learned was right, and I'm telling you is wrong. So guess what your kid was learning? The wrong shit that you learned that was wrong. Degrees, people saw for so much money, wealth, status, and then they go to the graveyard, and then what? Like I said, then what? Then what? You're in a grave now. Then what? What did you learn? How did you... We forgot. We're going to forget about you when you're dead. Trust me. We're going to forget about you. Because there's no honor in you. You have no family in you. Somebody that don't care about their family is how we remember about them. Somebody that have a family and the family loves them, we'll never forget about them. These people chasing the wrong thing. They're chasing fucking dreams. They're chasing dreams of lies and deception. They try to cure. How you going to cure? These are plagues on the earth. So they making up lies, making up plagues. People don't understand what the disease is. They just don't get it. So many lies. The fallen angels, the wicked spirits, taught man the art of abortion, witchcraft, adding curses, cutting the roots. Everything you can think of, they taught him that shit. So man knows through Solomon about how wicked spirits control man. And he knows that the wicked spirits told Solomon, because Solomon had so much wisdom, and he was blessed from the Most High, for sake of David. They told him how you can get rid of the wicked spirits. Now, before I talk about this, because the wicked spirits tempt man to do this back then. You know what I'm saying? The fallen ain't the seed of the fallen angel, because the woman has two seeds. The seed with man, and the seed with the wicked spirits, with the heathen, the devil himself. Women open their legs to anything. They're wicked. In the end of the day, all women wicked. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care. All women are wicked. Wine is wicked, women is wicked, and kings are wicked. It was already said. The Most High is the only thing you truly love. Fact. Complete fact. But it's just so much, man. Like I said, it's not even enough videos for me to cover this shit. Like, there's just so many topics. I be trying to just talk about one topic, like Graven images. But this shit just be spreading off in so much shit. Because the shit leads to shit. It leads to shit. Like, you so convinced about shit because of pictures. Like I read in here already from numbers that pictures are graven images. Exodus said don't create a graven image. So numbers tell you what a graven image is even deeper. Since you didn't understand that it's any likeness of anything. It tells you pictures and molten images. So it even tell you what a graven image is. It's a multi-image in any picture. So I can sit here and sculpt shit from shit. Like I can be a stone cutter. And create some shit. It's a fucking graven image. I can make a picture. Have a person, Leonardo da Vinci, or the fuck their name is. They showing pictures of, supposed to be the most high hand touching a man hand. It's a graven image. It's a graven image. And I didn't know it was that serious because, you know, I'm raised here in D.C. and you see churches, you know, so-called black churches, Catholic churches, cathedrals, all that here. But literally, I went to Venice, Italy. Literally. 6 days I stayed in Venice, Italy. Around St. Marco Squares. And then every single building. There's no streets. It's all water. Canoes, water restaurants. Beautiful. It's wonderful. Like, it's some weird shit that I never seen. They had ghettos there. They had the Nazi ghettos there. So you can walk around and see how the red people were being, you know, not slaves. Because slaves is what we were. Slavery. They were what you call collateral, well, also collateral damage. War victims. War hostages, not slaves. But when I was there, I didn't want to get off that because we visited my folks and we went to a so-called ghetto, Jewish ghetto. You know what I'm saying? I remember my people going through slavery. I don't have time to remember other people. I don't have time to celebrate or even give a shit about other people. When I know my people was born on a slave ship and beaten to death, raped and tortured and strangled and whipped and shit. Like, I don't even have time for that shit. And they still use the same product today called cotton. So I don't give a fuck about none of that shit that y'all talking about, that Holocaust shit. But when I was there, it literally like this in every building. There was a biblical picture from floorboard to ceiling. And the ceilings was like sometimes 5 stories high. Literally, like every place was holy. It was like a holy sanctuary or some shit that I have never seen in my life. I mean, it's Venice, Italy. I mean, from wall to wall, there was no paint. How you paint your house? There was that, never there. There was a biblical depiction, a picture, of hell, of the first, everything. Literally. You don't even have to talk. You can literally walk throughout every building and see every picture. It's like they drew every line. Literally. I'm not lying to you. On the roof, you'll go to the bathroom and in the bathrooms will be fucking pictures of biblical events. Well, all red flesh. I'm so sorry. I forgot to say that. Of all red flesh people. Of all red flesh. So when you're choosing your colors, like, the primary colors and shit like that, and then you about to dip and draw somebody and put a place on these people, and then clearly say in Genesis 25, the Most High separated the two in the womb. Just like the Most High put plays on the Egyptians and not the Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? And you go to church, and you're not going to hear the shit that I'm saying in church. Because the Most High put the plagues. But you're not going to hear that the 7-year-old Egyptians, the 11-year-old Egyptians is laying in the street getting fucked up. You're not going to hear that shit. Or you're going to hear a Pharaoh's firstborn die. But you're not going to hear that 3-year-old baby die. Because the Most High murdered it. See? And then when I tell you the truth, because that's the truth. Oh, David, you too harsh. The Most High love you. Fuck all that shit you saying. Fuck everything you saying. You got a whole different, this Sunday church, this gospel music, this woman preacher type fucking attitude when it comes to Most High. Women don't know their place, number one. Like I said, women shouldn't be wearing pants. Women shouldn't be even speaking. It's what you don't get. It is written here. I didn't make this law or this rule, these rules. I come from a woman. out of a woman's womb from my dad. I mean, she didn't have me by herself, which she claims she thinks she did. Not her, but all women. Because they don't let, you gotta understand, women have two wombs. They have the womb of man and the womb of the devil in them. So it's just like, it's difficult. It's difficult. I don't, and like I said, I'm talking about graven images, but I'm talking about women because, like I said, before Adam even made a graven image, I mean, he was deceived by a woman. I give examples of this all throughout, all the time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have nothing against that, but if a woman walk up to me and just be like, she worships the most, I like had the faith of Sarah or Rebecca, or even Ruth. And she was, you know, she was a Moabite. And then if the men can recognize it and not be sluts. Because Judah, listen to me, the children of Judah will fuck anything. That's what I be trying to tell people. They will, Judahites will fuck anything. You can look at Solomon, you can look at David. David is killing this nigga's husband. This bitch husband. Kills him. Puts him out there to get murdered. Like I said, to do shit in your heart, it's like you did it. He put out that he don't want to get Israel his blood, the husband blood on his hand or Israel hand. So he gonna put him on the front lines to get murdered by the other people and shit. Bruh, you just throwing your heart to kill his man. That's what you don't get. But David would do anything the Most High say. So it's a big difference from you and him. It's a big difference. Because I really don't see you going against Goliath. I really don't. The Philistine. And like all of Israel, it could have been one of Israel there to do it. But they won't do it. If you had just a little faith. Like mustard seed faith, they say, or, you know, the lambs say, that you could do anything. That's why I don't take pills or I don't do that shit. The Most High heal me and everything in my life. But back to the graven image. Because the joint is so serious. I mean, it's life or death. It's life or death. When you go to a restaurant, and then you know that, what verse is 7, verse 7 or verse 8 in Leviticus? When it tells you about swine. It's just not, you just jump straight to swine. But when you see a giraffe, like it don't mention, you know what I'm saying? A giraffe have parted hoofs. A giraffe chews the cud. I mean, it eats the grass, and it regurgitates. I guess that's what the science says, regurgitating the shit from their stomach. Because, you know, science has gone and opened up their stomach and told you, you ain't never see your brain, but science will tell you the left side, the right side, do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Worshiping of what the man say, the works of man's hands. But that's science. It's 2 cups for you. But the giraffe got part of hoofs and chew the cud. Are you going to eat the giraffe? Is it mentioned in Leviticus? But if I go there to a restaurant, fast food, I can see a graven image menu of a juicy chicken burger, turkey burger, Leviticus 11:20, birds that would never fly, eat on the ground, or fucking swine, pork chop, gravy, on a picture, on the image, making it look edible, making it look delicious, making it look like it's not abomination, according to Leviticus. The image did that. The graven image did that. The graven image. The menu, the fast food menu. The graven image. And it's deep because when you're standing at the crosswalk ready to walk the street and you see the man, you know, we seeing that same dude hold the bad hand, you know, the crosswalk light, the walk, you can walk joint with the family. Bro, that's a graven image. That's not a man and a family. These pictures you see on the internet, these things that eyes can't see, ears but can't hear, neither is it breath in their mouths. These are graven images. Someone gives you a CAT scan, they give you a graven image, a CAT scan of your body, an image of how your body looks like inside. And tell you got such and such time to live. You believe the graven image and the false prophet. So you die. You kill yourself. I mean, it's just so deep. The graven image. Evidence. When people show you pictures of shit, it's like, people don't believe in Photoshop. So it's like, I mean, back with, I just can't explain this shit. NASA and Babel, bro. Like, NASA does what? They haven't made you a medication for anything. They haven't done anything for you. NASA. And the 60 years they so-called been, you know, because they've been here formed in 1959 to 1958 was the Antarctic Treaty. All right, something, just facts that if I ask someone, if I ask somebody and ask them when they formed, they should, just tell me they believe it. Like if I ask them how many, when did that football start, they'll say, 105 years ago, 120 years ago, some shit like that. You should know these facts, you know what I'm saying? But you don't, but you believe it to be real. So, what does NASA do for you? They show you images of what's in heaven. They show you images of what's in heaven. What else do they do for you? Nothing. Nothing. What have they done for so-called what? Mankind? Nothing. They show you images. People have been using the Doppler radar, 28-foot dish on Earth, you know what I'm saying, before the so-called satellites. Satellite weather, they say the first prototype is 1972, first so-called NASA satellite. 1994 is the satellites, but Doppler radar has been on the Earth, since submarines, since, Doppler radar, the technology they so-called grab from dolphins and whales, the echo technology that they say, like they grab the technology from plants to give you the polygraph tests and shit. It's shit that you believe, like corona testing and shit. Shit that you believe to be real. But, anyway, I think I'm tired because it's like, 2 in the morning or some shit. But I just want to share what the fucking Graven images are and when they started and how NASA fools you to fool your children. Because NASA will say tomorrow some shit gonna hit the Earth, and then in some thought in your mind, you will believe it. If I say 100% how much you believe, you'll say like 10%, 5%. But you don't understand that it is not real. Man can't go above the firmament. So they use your own self against you, bro. You understand? I talk to people, they say meteorites fall all the time on Earth, and I research them. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't. You research rocks that man has never shown to you that's on Earth already. You think man's seen every rock? You think, like I said, man has been 8 miles deep in the Earth. Man goes onto the ocean and drills even farther there. Number one, listen. Our archaeologists, or whatever the research is, fossils cannot be created or found 15,000 feet deep in the Earth. 15,000 feet deep in the Earth, all right? So if you're going to find any fossil, you have to be 15,000 and above. I guess it's the pressure, the heat, the rocks, whatever it is. You can't find them 16,000. You'll never find a fossil. All right? Did you hear me? All right? Petroleum, gasoline, kerosene, everything that you make, all the jellies and the shit, the lubricants and shit, mainly kerosene and gasoline. Petroleum is oil is used for besides oil. That shit is harvested and fucking drilled at 31,000 feet. So you believe already that petroleum is a fossil. I already told you that you're not going to find any fossils deeper than 15,000 feet. All right. So once you do the research and you see the research contradicts what they're teaching you, then you can open your eyes like, damn, I'm thinking just like David. Because everything they say is contradicting, but you don't do the research, so you can't see two sides of it. You don't have the full story. You only got their side. Facts. Only thing you know is what they tell you. Like I'm looking at, what am I looking at? Some on YouTube headline right now. It says, judgment order immediately switch at the hand. No, business of being Dwayne Johnson or some shit. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me everything about this nigga Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, WWE, but you can't tell me shit about Moses' firstborn. Nothing. You can't tell me shit about fucking Judah's third child or second wife. Nothing. Like, it's like, how could that be? What was Abraham doing at 20 years old? I used to always ask that question. But you know what? I did used to always ask that question, but I never got an answer. I used to literally, people be debate me, and I used to text that shit. Comment that shit and ask for an answer. Put the question marks and even remind them, are you not going to answer? And no one will answer my question. And I know why, because they don't fucking know. But in just saying, I don't know, can you tell me why? They brush over it. They don't want to know. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. If it's not LeBron triple-double, if it's not fucking a stimulus check from a president, a king they worship, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck, bro. It's sickening. Niggas don't want true knowledge. They just want that fluke, flabby, stupid shit. That shit that changed tomorrow. Everything you know changed tomorrow. Think about anything you know. That shit will change tomorrow. Anything you know. The sun going to shine. It's never going to go north to south. It's always going to be the same. Like I'm saying, nothing new on the sun. But all your facts change. All your facts. I mean, your time, your date, your distance, your planets, the cycles, the everything with you changes. Your technology, everything changes. You think it gets better? No, it's like, remember right now, this is the best shit you got in technology, food, all resources. 2 years, no, it'd be better or worse. But it always changes. Because it's not real. It's temporary. Your knowledge, your fake, false knowledge is temporary. That shit is not everlasting. It's not. I'm sitting here, I'll kill all your stupid knowledge. I know what you know. The thing is, I like I said earlier, I don't think people think that I went to school or some shit. That's what I'm beginning to think. Like, for me, David McCall, to fucking say something to you, ask you a simple question, it's like, why would you say some shit to me that you know that I already know, because I went to school where you learned it. Why would you repeat that shit to me? Obviously, I'm saying, I came out of my mouth and said this shit, which is different from what you know already. That's why I can't stress this shit. It's like either people trying to be funny, or let people just reject the shit. Because obviously, we both know the same shit, the lies, the same bullshit that I'm telling you, I'm rejecting this shit. So when I ask you something different, why would you continue to tell me the same shit we know? Why are you not listening to what the fuck I'm saying? Why are you not listening to what the fuck I'm saying? That's what I don't get. I don't get on here to debate nobody. I don't even give a shit. When I get off, I'll be watching this shit. Literally. I think about the shit that I be saying. And it made me go research even more shit. And like I said, maybe some child will see this shit and be like, damn. If I go to this classroom, let me just question the teacher, because I can raise my hand and ask her any question. So let me just ask the teacher the question. How is this not a theory? Is this the proof or facts that what you're saying? I mean, that's the shit you should stay in school. To the teachers or online on your fucking Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Ask these fucking teachers that shit. You in the classroom with the kid down and shit. It's like, why do motherfuckers keep telling me what I already know? If I say, it's daylight, sunlight, it's like, damn, David, I've been taught that the sun is daylight, right? So obviously I know that it's not. So why would you repeat that shit to me? So obviously I'm asking you to think for yourself. Or ask me, why do I say this shit that I say? Because obviously I give a shit about your mind state. But like I said, they can fuck your mind state up with any graven image. You're fooled by graven images. Like I said, they showing you fucking hotels blow up on other sides of the earth. Bro, you're not there. Who gives a fuck? But the image is to bring fear into your heart. Even the smallest fear. You understand? Like if I show you a house that's burning up in the woods somewhere, God knows where, and you're like, damn, that's it's this fucked up feeling. But if I show you that house, then I show you another house, then I show you a car over here on this side of earth, then I go to 4 countries away and show you 12 cars. It's like all those small wicked things add up to a big wickedness. I use the word wicked because I can't find the words to describe the heathen pagan bullshit y'all believe. It's just wicked beyond wicked. Your very thoughts is wicked. Like, damn, this nigga standing up, talking, basically to himself? No, I'm not talking to myself at the end of the day. This shit that I know. These are things I be saying in my mind when I be researching. I done did so much research. Like I said, I done took the truth. Because I don't know what the fuck I used to rap about, talk about before. I done made endless songs. I done made endless videos. I done been to places like museums and shit with the videos. I done made a fucking board game about the truth. I done wrote like 2 books already about this shit. Literally. Lives. Shit like that. YouTube pages. Like I said, I got mixtapes about this shit already. This is crazy. I think because this shit, it just, I can't find no fucking outlet to help you understand that you believe lies. I just can't. I can't, because I don't do this shit every day. Every day the news come on, so I can't beat them. Like I said, I can't beat them. the so-called fake Jewish news media outlet, because they're not Jews. What's his name? Jerry Seinfeld? He's not a fucking Jew. He's not a fucking Jew. Fuck y'all get that? He's not in the children of Judah. He's not even, come on. Let these motherfuckers fool you. Call, the fucking word literally say, call no man father, no man rabbi on earth. It says that in here. Why the fuck would it be written in here? Why the fuck would a Jewish man call himself, a so-called red Jewish man, call himself a rabbi? Why do they call themselves these red fucking people, these red men call themselves father in these churches? Fuck, you don't see? You can't see it? You can't hear it? You can't see the fucking truth? These people are making fools of you. You won't stop them. You won't stop them. And they're not going to stop until you stop them. They're not going to stop being you until you stop them from being you. With the truth from the Most High. Because they can't reject. Listen, I can literally say that this man came out red all over. And I can ask somebody, is there Edomite on earth now? And then they will be puzzled. Like, they were like, I've never seen a red man. Like, are you fucking serious? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. Semitic shit? What are they talking about? Anti-Semitic? What the fuck are they talking about? You faking to be a Jew is anti-Semitic. I don't get it. You're not a Jew. You're an Edomite. Edomite. Esau. Twin brother Jacob. Twin brother Jacob. Twin brother Jacob. One thing that I want to say, that I never ever say on my videos, especially the ones that I be doing in my old videos, not my lives. I want to talk about Lot. Alright? Matter of fact, Lot was born around this time. And I explained to you who Lot is. Abraham's nephew. Alright? Who is Lot? Who is Lot? Lot is Haran's son. Once again, we'll go straight to when Lot is born. Lot, well, not when he was born, but when you first hear about him. Now, these are generations. This is verse 27 in Genesis chapter 11, telling you about the generations of Terah, Abraham's father. And Lot was Haran's son. Haran is Abraham's brother. During this time, they tossed Abraham and Haran in a furnace. All right? Burnt up Haran. Abraham couldn't have a son. Sarah was barren at the time. All right? So they took Lot as a son. The Most High promised all that land, like Jericho, all that shit to Abraham. He was going to give half of it to Lot. All right? He didn't. You know what I'm saying? Lot went his own way to Jericho. Lot wound up being in Sodom, the city of Sodom, one of the 4 wicked cities. Those 4 wicked cities went to war with the old kings of Ham and got captured. Abraham had to go up there and fight them and destroy the wicked kings. Brought back Lot and all of the Sodomites, all the Gomorrites. All right? They was going to give everything to Abraham. Abraham said, I don't want that shit. I don't want anything from you because you're going to say that you made me rich when the Most High was making Abraham do all these things. So they let Abraham go. You know what I'm saying? And they let Lot stay in Sodom. All right? Because Abraham did those things. Why you think Sodom was where Lot was at? All right? Lot came out of Sodom. The Most High came and destroyed that motherfucker. Anybody who looked at the destruction would turn to salt. The Sodomite wife that fucking Lot had turned to salt. All right? 2 of Lot's daughters were killed in the city. If you can read the book of Jasher, how, you know what I'm saying, for feeding homeless people. Because the wicked city of Sodom was very wicked to the Most High had destroyed all the face of the earth. The plain, the city, the people, everything was destroyed. Lot went to the mountain, and then once again, just like Noah, he drank. Or they got him drunk. His 2 daughters, wicked women. We explained that like 30 minutes ago, how wicked women is. They fucked Lot in his sleep. Your fucking myth busters in today's world says impossible for a drunk man that sleep to have an erection and have kids. Fuck what your science says, all right? It sounds fucking stupid that science want to say this is wrong and go as far as try to pay people to bust some fucking myth. It's not a myth. This nigga got them 2 pregnant and had 2 sons. Moab and Ammon. All right? The Moabites and Ammonites. Fact. All right? I want to talk about them because every time my video stops and every time I talk about this shit. Once again, the Hebrew Israelites, 5 minutes about to do it every time I try to say this shit. The Hebrew Israelites, they tell you that Moab and Ammon are the Japanese and Chinese people because they look the same. They twins or some dumb shit like that. They not. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 different people. Once again, Abraham's nephew is black. Just like so-called black. Dark skin like him. Lot. He's black. All right? He's Haran's son. His daughters are dark skinned. Just like the fucking Hamites. The Sodomite are dark skinned. Ham, dark skin. All right? The Moabites came out fucking dark skinned. I don't give a fuck what you say. There's nowhere on earth that they're going to be red flesh people. It's impossible. That's what I've been trying to say all them times, but my fucking videos be stopping. These motherfucking Hebrew Israelites be trying to tell you that the Moabites are fucking, and Hamites are Moab and Jabite are fucking Japanese and Chinese people. Those red-skinned people, bruh. There's many types to eat them. There's many types, man. They all work against us. They all work against us. But shalom. I try to go into detail about his graven image, but I was just talking about so much. Plus my shit about to die. Alright, people. David.